Hi guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the wilds with me. I love the show. I will be directing questions individually so we can sort of make the Zoom situation work. So Sarah, I mean, like mental health is such an important subject, but I've been thinking about it all throughout 2020. So did you feel sort of the responsibility, because there are many traumas that we see in the series, but hers in particular represents Leia's represents mental health. So talk to me about sort of handling that responsibility along with the whole other challenge of the show itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think what the writing of the show does so well is find a really truthful portrayal of so many aspects of life. And in terms of mental health, I definitely felt a responsibility to try to portray a realistic panic attack, or I wouldn't necessarily call it paranoia, but not having, the label of crazy or like a stereotypical idea of what someone is like who's, I don't want to say unhinged, but on edge. And I don't know if I would necessarily classify Leah as having, we had conversations about like diagnosing her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more of what we wanted to focus on was the effects of these traumatic incidents. Whether it's a breakup or something physical, and just how those are so deeply impactful and how they continue to stay with you and continue to be at the forefront of your mind, even when something like surviving and the life and death scenario of the island is, breathing down your neck.
No, I mean, that's part of what I mean by mental health. Like 3 years ago, it would have been just easy to say, oh, this is a crazy character. But as opposed to, it's kind of heartbreaking the fact that I think she has like an antenna to sense things, but it's just skewed by the situation of the island.
Yeah, she goes down rabbit holes.
Which is kind of heartbreaking because she is half right half the time. So it's kind of heartbreaking to watch.
It off. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mia, let me ask you this. I mean, all the characters are kind of like Russian dolls in the sense that there are many angles and aspects. But with yours, it's like you get to rip off whatever labels. Talk to me about the journey of that, of like having a character that cannot be pigeonholed in one easy sort of archetype. Was that thrilling as a performer to get to do?
It was so thrilling. Thrilling is the perfect word. It was the role of a lifetime. It honestly was such a dream role to play. And I was so honored to play her because you could so easily see her as this stereotype and make all these assumptions. And then it changes because you begin to have empathy for her and realize that, there's more stuff going on, and then there's more stuff going on, and there's all these different aspects to her. And, at the end of the day, she's a multifaceted person. I mean, we all are. And I think just it's funny that these characters are not played as often as they should be, because they are, like, everyone is like this, like everyone is multifaceted. Maybe not sleep as this, but it was such an honor to play her. I felt just so passionate about her, and I really wanted to do her justice and bring her stuff because it mattered to me a lot.
All right. So Sarah, let me ask you, given that you were talking about sort of the truth of the what you have to do physically, was it sort of a gift when you look at the sides and saw like, okay, today we get to have some fun as a group. It's a group scene where we're eating edibles. Those scenes become like oasis in sort of a desert of the trauma that you were playing throughout all did you look forward to those moments more than the other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of how the show is structured, of going really in depth into each of the characters' backstories, I think for all of us, it was really refreshing to be as a group together. Although we're stranded on this island together, I feel, I don't know, Mia, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I felt like we developed a lot of, everyone had an interpersonal, like one-on-one interaction throughout the entire show. But being as the group and building that ensemble and like sort of filling in the gaps of time passing and how these relationships have grown while we're, in this backstory. It was always really refreshing to do that and like sort of remember, oh yeah, we're all in this together and this is how we pass the time. We eat some edibles or we find new shelter. And I think rather than it being a relief of not, doing an intense emotional scene, it was an excitement to be able to have 7 other scene partners and feel that energy and whatever the girls were getting into and discussing.
All right, so my time's up. The show's fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it, and stay healthy wherever you are. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.